Welcome to Let's Cap. I am your host, Ronald, also known as Youcapper from Sportsmemo.com at Youcapper Sports on Twitter. Got Munaf with me here today, Sports Nerd 824 on Twitter. Yesterday we had a couple good looks here from the side and side and prop perspective. How'd you do yesterday? I know you dropped some other baseball plays as well too, right?
Yeah, baseball turned out okay. I think a lot of us were heavily invested into that Blue Jays and Royals game yesterday. Didn't pay out the way we wanted
Kikuchi
to.
Dan, yeah.
Yeah, but I did hit the under in the Dodgers and the God, who they play last night? The Rockies game.
Yeah, Dodgers Rockies,
They
yeah.
got a little, yeah, that one got a little interesting in the ninth, but they were able to stay under the total of 7.5, and then also had I think it was a Rays yesterday on their run line as well, and then the Orioles team total over 3.5. So those were the looks I had in MLB yesterday. NBA turned out to be a little bit of a clunker. I know I did take the Bulls. I know we talked about that. They just absolutely just
hmm
did not play any defense last night, even without Trey Young. And I did have Kevin Porter Jr. over his 3 pointers yesterday. That one came in fairly easily. So hopefully we can make some more money here tonight in the NBA, at least RC.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I kind of so from a sports memo side, I did go 1-1 in NBA, 1-1 in MLB, but obviously I took some personal plays as well from the show. Those it was kind of off and on, like you said. I took the Bulls team total over. They struggled to score in that game there. The other ones that actually hit was I did take that Dodgers game under as well with you there. It did get kind of scary in that ninth when they scored that run and they had a couple guys on bases, but they got it done there. The Cubs won for me yesterday. That's another one
Oh
that
yeah,
I gave
Cubs.
out. Yeah,
Yeah,
the Cubs won. The under, I forgot which game that I gave out that went under. Oh, it was a Padres game, man. They just gave up hella runs in that Padres game. I had the
the
under in that one,
Diamondbacks.
but yeah, but yeah, so you know, overall on the day, probably just even. From a personal and sports promo side, but for the most part, I think we had some solid looks that we talked about. I didn't get there on the ones that ended up winning. Ended up playing some of the ones that lost. So that's the way it goes here. We just got to continue trying to look at the best angles we can. Let's we got a few games on the slate that actually has some meaning to it. We can talk about some of those,
Mhm.
but we also have some games where there's injuries that kind of gave us some nice prop looks as well. Well, we can look into those games here. That we if we have time at the end, we could probably talk about a little bit of baseball as well.
Yeah.
Let's go into this first game here. We got the Knicks and the Pacers. I'll share my screen here, but I think you were looking at something from the prop side here.
Yeah, I took Mitchell Robinson rebounds over 10.5. It was around plus money at plus 105. Obviously, no Julius Randle for the Knicks, at least for the remainder of the season. So
Mhm.
it's really been about Mitchell Robinson being able to grab those rebounds for the New York Knicks. Look at it, just it's a very small sample, but 2 games so far this season without Julius Randle over the last week or so. He's had double-digit rebounds in both games. One game was 11 rebounds, and then I think the other one was 14
14.
rebounds that Mitchell Robinson had.
Yeah.
I took the over 10.5 around plus 105. And then obviously Pacers, they give up a lot of rebounds to the center position, around 16.3 over the last 2 weeks. That was one player prop I did take in this game. I know Jalen Brunson got ruled out. I know you got a player prop as well,
Yeah.
RC.
Yeah, no. So that was one thing that I looked at last night, right? Kind of looking at their situation. They're pretty much locked into their spot in the playoffs. So one
Yeah.
thing that I looked at was obviously Randall's out, right? And then we got
Hmm.
Barrett, who's been dealing with the illness. And then my thought was, obviously Brunson was kind of dealing with some injuries too post All Star break,
Yeah.
and he's probably the most important person to their team during this playoff run. So one thing that I looked at was what was think the thought process was like, do I think Brunson's gonna play, or do I think he's gonna get limited? So one guy that I kind of focused in on was Grimes, and
Yeah.
you can see his usage lately, and just the fact that he's been able to get some run. He's been putting up a decent chunk of points. So last night I actually took it at 13 and a half points, over 13 and a half points. Give that out to clients. And then when I woke up, that's why I was asking you this morning in the chat. I was like, is Brunson out? Because I woke up and it's 16.5, and I was like, shit. So yeah, so obviously 16.5 is what the line is at now. I actually still like it. I laddered it up to 20 points. I think he gets up there. Like I said, that usage is going to be there. I think last night too, Barrett was officially questionable.
Hmm.
So I don't know if he's going to play tonight either, but I have a feeling they're just going to sit most of the key guys. Obviously, a lot of people are going to transition to quickly, right? Because he's the
Yeah.
more well-known name. He's going to have the ball in his hands a lot, but I think Grimes is his number was more reasonable to me last night than Quickly's was. So that's the way that I went, was Grimes points. From a side or total perspective, did you see anything that you liked in this game here?
Quickly before we get to side and total, Mitchell Robinson's rebounds and steals combined at over 2.5 at even money. I think I really like that
Yeah,
look. Um, he's gone over this in the 2 games without Julius Randle, I think fairly easily. And then if you kind of take a look at what he's just done this season in 2 games against the Pacers, 1 steal, 4 blocks, and then 5 steals, 2 blocks. So at least 5 in both of the games. So that right now it's at 2.5 at even money. If that's an additional player, probably going to get on Mitchell Robinson. Um, Side
yeah,
and
that's
total
solid.
RC. I mean, I really couldn't come to a side, man. Again, I think like you mentioned, like for the Knicks, it's really just trying to get their guys healthy because I already saw DraftKings already drop playoff series odds for Knicks and Cavs already, so they're pretty much
Yeah,
expecting these 2 teams to meet up in the first round. But the Pacers have been they've been fighting, I guess we can say. They're not laying down. I know most of their guys, at least, guys like Tyrese Halliburton and those guys have been out. I'm kind of curious to see how they've been doing at home since the All-Star break for the Pacers. I think that might be worth a look here.
yeah. Let's look at that. So Pacers at home after the All Star break. Uh, 2-5 straight up, 3-3 against the spread. I want to say 5 and
Damn,
two
look at
to
the
the
total.
over. Yeah, look at that shit. But they got a couple of OT games, but for the
Yeah.
most part, I think they went over in regulation too. Maybe not this one. Let's look at this one real quick. Well, that's the Rockets, though. The Rockets offense has kind of been struggling. Rockets scored only 10 in OT,
Hmm.
and they went. Oh, so they went over in regulation. Yeah, all these games
Yeah.
went over in regulation except for this one here. So it might be a Knicks team total over type of look.
Hmm.
Obviously, their place to play. Um, I was looking at some. Oh, Halliburton right there. So Hallie, without Hallie this season, Pacers 6 and 17 straight up, 15, 8 and 15 against the spread. If we look at it in more recent games, they covered the last two, the Thunder and the Cavs. Yeah, I don't know, man. This one's tough. I think from a side or total perspective, I'll probably just stay away.
Yeah, I'd stay away too. I think we're just probably just good with those player props.
Yeah, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Would you going back to Robinson? Because I was looking, Loki did this stupid personal single game parlay with uh Gobert last night. 10
Hmm.
rebounds. Sorry, 10 points, 12 rebounds, and 1 block. It was like plus 200. It actually hit. Uh, would you do something similar like that with Mitchell Robinson? Because I know towards the end you mentioned his blocks and steals as well. Just
Yeah.
looking at it from this perspective, it seems like obviously no Hallie, their offensive efficiency is gonna go down, create a lot of they're gonna have a lot of turnovers. You'd think that he would get some steals here, maybe some blocks, especially if Miles Turner doesn't play, you would think that there would be a lot more paint, like points, like I guess opportunities in the paint for him to get
Yeah.
blocks as well.
Hmm.
That just seems like something that you could extend on, right?
Um. Yeah, and then, like, if you look at the 2 games, even without Julius Randle, the last 2 games, he's had 2 steals, 2 blocks, and then 2 steals, 1 block. So it seems like steals at least. I don't know if we're gonna look at that angle, like 1 block, 1 steal, and then 10
Yeah,
plus rebounds. If you want to put that like same game
yeah,
parlay together for him, I think that might be worth a look.
yeah. That's I think that's a pretty solid look there. All right, let's move on to the next game here. Next one up that I had was the Wizards and the Hawks. Um, you mentioned like possibly looking towards the over in this game, and that's kind of the way that I was looking too. Did you see any angles that was kind of pointing you in that direction initially?
I didn't see anything directly, but I know you and I have, and Chris have talked a lot about Hawks at home after the All Star break towards the over. And I think they also mentioned I was watching this Hawks game last night between them and the Bulls. Even like the report or the TV guys were mentioning that since Quinn Snyder's taken over, they've been playing with a little bit more pace
Hmm.
in that span. But if you take a look after All Star break for the Hawks, their final scores are almost averaging close to 249 points. I know they had that one overtime game against the Dallas Mavericks on Sunday, but
Mhm.
there are a couple unders in there that kind of regress there. But they were against some of the more, I guess, defensive minded teams like the Cavs. They had the
Yeah.
Warriors in there as well,
Some
Pistons
of
as
these
well.
totals are
But
just super high too. Look at this 250 with the
yeah,
Pacers,
yeah,
247.5 with the Grizzlies. These are just high numbers, right?
hmm
So even look at this one, it went under, right, from a record perspective, but they still scored over 240 points, and that's well over, what number we see today. One thing to add on, I know you mentioned this Hawks at home, but if we go back to the Pacers side, sorry, the Wizards size, as double digit dogs post All Star break, three
hmm
and one to the over as well.
mm,
I think one thing to note is, I think Chris mentioned this too. Like, these double digit lines is, they don't these teams that are the favorites, they don't really need to focus on the defensive side of the ball. I feel like they just kind of cruise through the game, not play any defense, just outscore their opponent, because why expend any energy on the defensive side of the ball when you could beat this team. Obviously, sometimes it backfires, right? And like we saw the Wolves lose
sure.
to the Blazers and stuff like that. But I think that's, for the most part, that's how I envision these players kind of looking into this. Easy game, why play any defense? And that's why it leads to like overs,
Mhm.
with these double digit lines. Uh, any thought on that, or like
It makes
any
sense.
thoughts on that?
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, even you saw last night, like teams that were double digit favorites. I want to say a lot of them did go over their team totals.
Mhm.
Toronto, they scored 120 last night against Charlotte. We saw the Milwaukee Bucks score 140 last night against the Wizards. But Wizards,
Mm.
even without their top five guys, RC, they still put up 128 points against that Bucks team.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, that's what I'm
right?
saying. Like, they didn't, like, why play any defense? I don't think Milwaukee did it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
why?
And
I don't expect the Hawks to.
Denver, I think, closed as a double-digit favorite last night. They lost the game last night by 21 points, and Rockets put up 124 points on them last night. So,
Yep, they don't fucking
we're
care, bro.
seeing it. Yeah, same thing with Lakers last night. I think when LeBron was ruled in, I want to say they closed as a 9 or 10 point favorite. I know the game went
Hmm.
into overtime, but in regulation, Jazz still put up 124 points. Um,
Exactly.
so
I
yeah, I
think
think
one
those
thing you
overs
mentioned
might be
too,
worth the look.
The Hawks definitely picked up their pace too after the All-Star break. They're fourth in pace, so
Yeah.
a lot of things leading towards that over there. Obviously, their offense is
Yep.
clicking. Their defense is towards the bottom of the league. Offensive rating, post All-Star break, third. Defensive rating down here, bottom five. Right, so a lot of this over is really on the Hawks side. But here you also see the Wizards struggling defensively here as well. Um,
Yeah.
so, and what I talked about on the triple double too, when you get a whole bunch of
hmm
like your bench players, obviously your starters, right? That most of the time they're going to be two-way players, guys who play offense and defense. The bench players really come in to play a role for the most part, and most of the time those are guys that just try to get buckets, right? Those are the guys that are on the bench, and those are the guys that we're seeing now, playing heavy minutes because all the key players are resting, and pretty much shut down for the remainder of the season, especially on the Wizards side. So I can see a fast pace, no defense, and just layup drills, dude. Like, that's all I see. So I mean, I think the over is probably the way to go in this one. Did the total move up?
Let me
It,
see.
or just a half
Is Trey
point?
Young playing?
Last I seen was he was questionable. Bogdanovich did get downgraded though. He get downgraded
Okay.
to questionable. So, DeAndre Hunter is out. Um, and then everyone on the Washington side is out pretty much. Beal, Wright, Morris, Kuzma, Porzingis, Denny is out as well. So yeah, man, I just don't see any defense here at all from either team.
Yeah. It
It's
opened
just
up
a
at
matter of them
230.
making the shots.
Yeah, it opened up at 233. That numbers it's pretty much it went up half a point to 233 and a half.
Yeah,
Yep.
I can only look in that direction. Would you focus if you were to pick a team total? who do you think would go more likely be to go over?
I think Atlanta, man. I think Atlanta.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, I just feel like they need to get some momentum going into the playoffs, right? And the Wizards is
Yeah.
pretty much just shut down. So, yeah, I would expect them to do that too to go over. I just it's just Bogdanovich being questionable. I think. Do you think the line would move if he's
I don't
out?
think so. I wouldn't think so, mate. I don't even think he's worth. I mean, maybe half a point. I think
What about
1
Trey
point is
though? Because both of those guys are questionable right now.
so. Yeah. So if Trey gets ruled in, I think the total moves up, and the Hawks probably move to what, a 12.5 maybe
Yeah.
with Trey
What is
in
their schedule like? So they got the Sixers on deck
Friday,
Friday
and then they
at
close it out. So
home.
I think,
Yeah.
yeah. So now this game, like, they got to come out and take care of business, right? Because it's the Wizard. It's a team that's below 500. That's going to be in the lottery. Then you have two teams that possibly might be resting guys because they pretty much probably don't have anything to play for. But still,
Yeah.
it's Sixers and Celtics, right?
Dude, can you imagine the schedule if everyone was at full strength? The Hawks would have just got smashed every single game here.
Yeah, I believe it.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
Yeah, okay. So I think I'm gonna try to find a way to get there on the over in this one, whether it's a team total or the full game over. I'll probably wait to see if Trey does play though, and then
Hmm.
move on it then.
Yeah.
All right, let's go on to the next game. Bulls Bucks. I think you were trying to get to what were you saying about this game here? Were you looking at a prop side or what?
Yeah, I took DeMar over on his points, 23
Tomorrow.
and a half. I mean, if you just look at what he's done against the Bucks in his last 3 games,
Mhm.
I laddered this up to 30.
Oh, just points, right?
Yeah, just his points, specifically against the Bucks.
Who draws him defensively in the matchup? Damn,
Somebody
he's a
that's not doing
fucking
a good job.
assassin. It must be like Grayson Allen or something, right?
Yeah,
I would think.
yeah, I'm thinking so.
Um, damn, that fool's smashing. What's his number?
23 and a half. Well, let me see if it's moved or not. Let's see.
Jesus. And then who? Okay, so he went 21 yesterday, so could be a nice bounce back spot too.
And he wasn't getting the foul calls. I know we talked about in the chat for the second half. I tuned into the second half, and there was a lot of and one calls that he didn't get, and they were side out of bounces for DeMar DeRozan. Yeah, it's still at
Yeah.
23 and a half. The VIG actually came down on the over, but I still took it at 23 and a half. I don't know why Levine's all the way at 27 and a half.
It looks like what did he do versus the Bucks?
Yeah, I didn't look that up.
Oh man.
Yeah, the
Yeah, I
last time
mean,
they
out
went
of
over
the
was last
two, from a
season.
matchup perspective, it seems like DeRozan gets a better matchup here.
Yeah.
I wonder who draws. Who would Drew defend today? I didn't watch none of
I
these
mean,
games.
is it Chris Middleton? Is it Drew Holiday?
Damn, DeRozan, man. Okay. How? I guess one question that I have for you is
Mhm.
how important do you think the mill or I guess yeah, how important is this game to the Bucks, right? Uh, do we see them like
I
putting in
mean,
all
I
out
don't
effort?
think so. It's
Do
really
we see
not.
limited minutes as well? Like do we see because this is second leg of back to back games towards the end of the season, pretty much almost locked into their spot as well for the number one spot. I I just
Mhm.
I just feel like there's gonna be some things here where they play maybe half of the game, not their heavy minutes that they normally play on the Bucks side.
Yeah, yeah. Look, they have a 3 game lead over Boston, right? And I mean, they could come out tonight. Everybody plays. They win the game. They clinch their number one spot, and then you see the guys all, yeah, Giannis, Chris Middleton, Drew Holiday, all sit the last 2 games because there's nothing else left to play for. Or you
Yeah,
can see a scenario where it is a back-to-back where it says Chris Middleton plays tonight, Drew Holiday plays tonight, Giannis sits, and then they try to go out to get one of the last 2 games against whoever they're playing. But Chicago right now, I think they're pretty much cemented in that 10th spot because they're number 10 in the East. Toronto has a 2-game lead over them, and nobody from 11 or below can really catch them. So I don't know. Chicago could kind of just be going through the motions. I don't think only thing that they could possibly be playing for is if they get that 9th spot, they get the home game in that play-in tournament. But right now, it looks like it's going to be Toronto.
I just want to see the minutes yesterday. The minute spread for this game.
For Chicago,
33-30. Not for Milwaukee. Connaughton, did he get injured?
oh, I'm
I
not
don't remember if
sure.
he got injured or not. He probably got injured. They spread the minutes out pretty evenly yesterday. Middleton didn't play, obviously. Damn, Crowder did pretty good yesterday too. I think I think it's gonna be a bench game again today. I think we're gonna see heavy game from Portis. Probably uh not I don't even know if Middleton's gonna play today. This is a tough one, but I think you're right to take DeRozan over Levine from the prop side.
Yeah, I think tonight.
I might get there though with Portis. I took Portis yesterday on his props. I feel like it's gonna continue to do that for the remainder of the season. I think they're gonna probably chill on Giannis's minutes.
Look at his numbers against Chicago. Yeah, he's almost
2011,
getting those
9
double
and
doubles.
12, double doubles. Yeah, damn. I think I might do it again. I'm probably gonna get there again. Find a way to back Portis.
I mean, this is another same game
All right.
parlay opportunity if you want to tie in DeRozan with it.
Yeah, get some points in there. All right, let's move on to. I think we got two more games. No, one more game here. Grizzlies Pelicans. Pelicans. So we were aligned on this one. We didn't even really talk about it either, but I took the Pelicans as well. Munaf, what were some of the things that you saw, or kind of your angles on why you took the Pelicans?
Yeah, I think it's another thing where for the Grizzlies, it's what are you really playing for? Because I feel like they're really pretty much cemented into that 2 spot. I know Sacramento is 2 games behind them, but again, with only 3 games left to play, it might be a little difficult for them to catch the Memphis Grizzlies versus the Pelicans. Like every game matters right now because they could easily, if they win out their final 3 games, they could end up even as high as a 5th spot or the 6th spot, avoiding that play-in tournament or bracket right now. Because if right now the play-in tournament started, they would be going to LA to play the Lakers. So again, I still think it's a meaningful game for the for the Pelicans here, and I wanted to see what the Grizzlies are doing on back-to-back night or on back-to-back games where they have to go from home to away. Yeah.
A couple things here before we look that up. The two of the things that I saw to fade the Grizzlies right now, because one thing that, I mean, obviously the Steven Adams thing since January has been a big component to some of the struggles that they had, especially post All-Star break, right? I looked at them post All-Star break as road dogs. They're 0-5 straight up, 1-4 against the spread here. A little bit different just because both are on the second leg of back-to-back games, but we see in that situation as road dogs, they haven't been doing too well. Average margin there minus 13.4. And then we look at them as road dogs versus, I think it's not even including All-Star break, but if we look at road dogs on the season and they have a winning percentage greater than their opponent. So basically a situation where they're a dog versus a team that they should be favored by. 0-10 straight up, 2-8 against the spread. And that's all season long. A lot you see some here post All-Star break as well. Also 6-4 to the over. They're giving up points to their opponents here. You can see that that's what 8-2 to the team total over for their opponents. So that would say the Pelicans offensively probably show up today. I think that the Grizzlies take a dip defensively, and you can kind of see that if you look at their post All-Star numbers. The Grizzlies defense, I think it was in the middle of the pack. Actually, what 12.2? That's actually pretty good. Was it last 10 games? I thought I saw them like towards the middle. Might be last 10
To the
games.
Grizzlies.
Yeah, the Grizzlies, their defense kind of struggled at some point. I forgot where it was now. Damn. All right. Well, 112. Oh, sorry, number 12th in the league in defensive rating. I knew it dropped down at some point. I can't remember exactly what I was looking at, but John Morant added to the injury report, spread up to 6.5. Oh shit. I guess I missed that.
So we got some Bucks news too, if you want to go through that quickly.
Oh, what's that?
So
Yeah, I was wondering what was.
Yeah, Caruso's out. Giannis is probable. Covington is out as well.
Caruso out. Connaughton out. Okay, he's out. Damn, my Cubs Reds game got postponed. That's the only thing I had in baseball.
I had a lot of action in that game.
Yeah, Jesus. All right. So Javon Carter not listed on injury report, so he should be playing today. Pat Connaughton out. Giannis probable. All right. Well, that's it. That's interesting. We no news on Middleton, huh?
No.
Right.
I mean, do you really need him to play though?
Yeah. Going back to this Pelicans game, you see the last 10 games, Pelicans defensive rating 107.3, number 1 in the league in defensive rating. And we know just in the season in general, if we go Pelicans at home versus on the road, their defense is really strong at home. So they only allow 109.5 at home, but on the road, they allow 115.1. So a lot of things to me is just kind of pointing towards the Pelican side here. I think they limit the Grizzlies in this spot. And then obviously John Morant, I guess being downgraded here is helpful as well. You took it already, right?
Pelicans, yes. Yeah,
Okay.
I did.
I took it too. I took it at -5 last night. So in my breakdown too, in my analysis, I did say it would be good up to -7. Seeing it at -6.5 now, I think it's pretty close to where I thought it was going to be. So I would take the Pelicans here. I think this is a spot for them to.
Are they playing? They're playing in New Orleans, or
they're playing at home. Pelicans at home.
Okay.
Right.
So do we go back to the under like we did yesterday?
The full game under, or the
for the Pelicans. I think we saw something that was like 3 and like 12. I know Chris had some queries yesterday about the under.
I know their team total under has been like just ever since January has been strong. But if we go, let's look at home favorite. So under 3 of the last 4 under. Their team total is under, even though they're still covering. That's mainly because of their defense. What if we look at after they gave up? So 15-9 to the under after they gave up 120 or more. If we look at it post All-Star break, 5 straight unders there. Makes sense to me.
And then I think yesterday was never mind.
Second leg. So their opponent is on the second leg of back-to-back games, 8-2 to the under. Yeah, a lot of things pointing to the under.
Again, we talked about it yet. Yeah, and yesterday we talked about how they're the number 1 defensive rated team, or at least top 2 or top 3 since All-Star break as well.
Pelicans Grizz under. What is it now? Damn, it went down a lot. Fuck, did it just happen too? I bet you it just happened. 229.5 straight down to 227.
What's the number?
Motherfuckers.
I don't think it happened. Hold on.
230. So it happened at 11. Is when it went down to 227.
Yeah, it's probably some.
It's probably the John Morant.
No, actually, it just happened about 35 minutes ago.
Fuck, it's just oh yeah, that's 11 my time.
Yeah, right
Pacific.
before we got on.
Yeah. Fucked up. All right, well, damn. That sucks. So if we do take the under, that would be the short end of the line there. I mean, I still think it goes under though. I would probably I'd probably wait until we get the official status though of Ja. Because if he does end up playing, right, and they'd actually go for that number one spot still, that's gonna come back up. And
Yeah.
if he's out, it's already moved to the point where it's kind of baked into the number, right?
Hmm.
All right. All right. So that's probably the way to go. I'll wait for the status of Ja and then take the under. All right. Did you have anything else to drop? I know we only wanted to talk about a few games here.
No, I don't know if you want to get into like Clippers and Lakers. I know you said
Oh
you had
yeah,
some
yeah,
trends
yeah.
and stuff that you found.
Clippers and Lakers. So I mean, I was on triple double, and then both Matt and Jeff liked the Clippers here.
Hmm.
But a lot of things actually to me was pointing towards the Lakers side. So if we, especially because after the All Star break, obviously because Lakers made the big changes right from the trade deadline, and then the Clippers without PG for the latter part of this second part of the All Star break. So those things were what I was looking at. So specifically, we go Lakers, and we say we could just say after the All Star break in general. Just start from there. ASB. So Lakers after the All Star break, 14-6 straight up, 12-8 against the spread. For the most part, you can see they've kind of shifted from being dogs to favorites, right? So it's kind of that momentum shift.
Hmm.
They're starting to get the respect from the books here. But the thing that I looked at the most was the revenge angle here because the Clippers own the season series 3-0 right now. We look at
I mean, I think that goes back like 4 or 5 seasons they own the Lakers.
So I just look at this here and how they change because of their depth, right? In the adjustments that they made, but 9-1
Yeah.
straight up, 8-2 against the spread, also 7-3 to the over. Obviously, it just like I said, that I think the changes that they made post All Star break just helps them a lot as far as being more versatile, right? If they have to make changes, they can because they have a deeper squad. But if they played a team before the All Star break that really just had their number, what could they do? They only had a limited
Yeah.
number of key players that they could use, so they really couldn't make a lot of changes. Um, that's the way that I kind of looked at it. Offensively, they're just killing it right now. Their offensive team total over in 8 of the 10 games. Opponent team total under in 8 of the 10 games. So that's one way that I looked at it. Then I looked at it from the Paul George aspect, right? So if we look at Clippers net rating, we'll just look at net rating because it's going to be pretty apparent with and so with and without Paul George, it goes from plus 2.2 to minus 4.6. That's just a huge gap as far as offensive and defensive rating with and without Paul George. Some of these games did have Kawhi not in them as well, but even then, you could see there was still a difference, right?
Hmm.
With Kawhi in. So for the most part, I think the 3 games that they did win, the Lakers beat. The Clippers beat the Lakers. Paul George was in each one of those. Missing him here, then we got momentum on the Lakers side. So for me, a lot of things that were pointing in that direction. Also, I was kind of leaning towards the under as well. We talk about like these playoff atmosphere type games, kind of looking towards the under. That's one thing that I was just looking at. So if we go just back to last season and we say win percentage greater than 50, shit, that ain't it. Win percentage greater than 50, opponent win percentage. Where the hell's my mouse? Oh, there it is. Greater than 50, and then we say later in the season. So like when I look at this, just thinking playoff atmosphere type games, right? So both teams with a winning record, you would assume both are in the playoffs. Last part of the season, both probably trying to position themselves in the playoffs as well. Just off of that alone, 40% towards the under, 165 and 110 to the under. I think I think if we look at if the home team is the favorite as well, um, it brings it down from the sample size aspect, but still pretty strong if we just get towards a specific scenario as them as home favorite. So I would just think Clippers at home. They've been an under team all season long. Lakers playing a little bit more defense as well.
Mhm.
All those things combined, Lakers and the under to me.
What's the total?
I think it's 230, 231, 231 and a half. So it's been going up. Um, I'm not too sure. I think it has to do with the number of points that they scored yesterday. So recency bias maybe looking towards the over.
Yeah, I mean, I was trying to filter it down to see the head-to-head matchup since 2020. Lakers are 0-9, straight up 1-8 against the spread against the Clippers. Totals right there at 4-1. But I think I agree that when you're looking at the standings here, RC, that they're tied for as far as record. But I mean, I think the loser of this game is pretty much going to fall into that play-in tournament bracket, and then the winner of this should
Yep.
be the 6th seed, which I think between like Lakers and Clippers, they want to be that 6th seed, even the Golden State Warriors. I think everybody's trying to avoid Phoenix in the first round.
Yeah. What do you think about the status of LeBron, AD, and D'Lo?
I would think that LeBron probably sits tonight because they probably don't want to risk re-aggravating that foot, especially with the playoffs starting next week.
Yeah.
And I want to say that when we got injured, it was in a back-to-back game. I could be mistaken about that when he did hurt that foot, but you just look at their final schedule. They have the Clippers tonight, and then they have another game against Utah again, and then I think they have Memphis. If I'm not, no, it's not Memphis. I'm sorry. Give me a second.
Yeah, I was looking at this game here because it's a
Um,
similar scenario. The Lakers on the second leg of back-to-back
yeah.
games. That's the only one that they covered. And I went to the recap, and
Mhm.
you look at who was playing. Malik Monk, Stanley Johnson, Avery Bradley, and then on the Clippers side, no Kawhi or PG at all. It was just like a scrub game.
That's terrible.
That's terrible. Man, this kind of just makes me kind of go away from the Lakers.
So
at this
Lakers
point.
have the Clippers tonight. Yeah, they got Clippers tonight, and then they have Phoenix on Friday, and then Utah on Sunday. So it's a possibility they could even possibly lose out.
The rest of the games.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't think Phoenix has anything left to play for. I think they're pretty much cemented into that 4 spot.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't be doubt if on Friday that you see Kevin Durant sit, Devin Booker sit, CP3 sit.
Dude, I'm just noticing this. Lakers opponent team total, they've only gone over in 5 games post All-Star break. And a few of these were just really close to their line. Clippers, even if the Clippers do cover, do you think they could stay under their team total too?
I agree with you about what you said, that it should be a playoff atmosphere tonight between these two teams. I mean, essentially, you think about it, it's a playoff game.
Yeah.
But Lakers defensively have been pretty good, I think, since the All-Star break, right? If I'm not mistaken, or at least over the last 10 games.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because they're definitely doing really well defensively. Because, like I said, opponent's team total went over in just 5 of 20 games. So was that 75% to the under team total for their opponent? If we go to the Clippers and then go after the All-Star break at home, they've gone. I guess it's not too significant, but it's pretty even, I guess, from their side. Man, yeah, I don't know where to go with this one. Probably just end up somewhere.
Yeah, you also look at RC Lakers on a back-to-back this season, 8-3 towards the over, and then the Clippers opponents coming off are on a back-to-back are 8-2 to the over.
Lakers 8-3 to the over. Clippers
8-2 to the over with teams.
Huh. Yeah, fuck it. I don't got a good read, obviously, on this one. Did you have anything from a prop side?
Yeah, I probably. I mean, are we taking the Westbrook angle? Revenge?
The revenge angle? Shit. I don't know, man. This one's
like
tough.
without PG, like Kawhi's gonna get his, right? But who's gonna be that second guy that's gonna step up to score for the Clippers?
Who has it been? But who's out for the Clippers? Clippers, no Morris, no Pete. Or Morris and Gordon are both questionable.
I mean, is it Norman
Adam
Powell?
Toner. Shit. He just came back from injury too, didn't he? Powell?
Yeah, he did.
All right, let's see what Adam got here. Home favorite. He usually be dropping gems. In 50. Conference. I wonder what it is with the number he said. So we go, 70 greater than
70 and then 81.
So between that mark. 62, 43, and 4 to the under. What was it this season? So we see some unders here. Five unders. So what? All right. So why are we not seeing?
It doesn't apply.
Maybe it's greater than a 50. Oops. What the fuck does that mean? Greater than or equal? So, they had the same win percentage, and both of them are above
win
50.
percentage. Yeah, they're both above 500.
Kind of crazy. Yeah. I wonder why it doesn't pop up because I know they're the same record. Oh shit, my bad. That's probably why. There you go. All right, thanks for helping me out, Adam. All right, so we had the number, the angle going the wrong way. So 16 and 7 to the under. Also points to the 70%. Clippers as well. Yeah, I like it. This one went over because
I think
OT.
it gets even better if you filter down from like 2020.
Yeah. So we just let's go to just the 2019 here. So look at it. Season greater than equal to 2019. All right, so 6-1 straight up, 5-2 ATS, 6-1 to the under. Like I said, this one would have went under in regulation.
Yeah.
All right.
Damn, they're not even sniffing 210.
Oops, shit. That's crazy. This is the highest total on the board too, though.
Mm-hmm.
Man. Well, I so for sure I probably offer the Lakers now, but I think just playoff atmosphere type kind of just points me to the under. I don't know if I'm gonna get there though. The late, just all the motivation shit. Like we don't know where they're gonna be at. Also, we don't know who's playing yet either. We won't know until later.
Come 5 o'clock, we find out that LeBron's sitting AD, sitting everybody's.
Yeah, exactly. All right, well, those are the games, guys. We talked about what we felt like we had some insight on. Do you want to talk about any baseball? Do you have any? Like I said, I only had that Cubs game, bro. Like that's the only thing I had today.
Let's see. I know most of the games started at early.
Started early. 10 o'clock.
Damn, some of these games are already like in. It's golly. All right. I mean, most of my plays were already going off, but let me see if there's anything.
Shit, there's only 2 games later. Oh, 3 games
Yeah.
left. So we got Guardians, A's,
Yeah, you
Angels,
only had one
Mariners.
night game.
That's just crazy.
Yeah, I
Let me
didn't.
see.
The last 3 games, I didn't have anything.
All right, let's see real quick. I think I have. So Manoa.
Got
Oh,
Otani on the mound tonight.
Let me just do one thing here real quick with Manoa then, before we cut out. So we have MLB season greater than or equal to 2022 and starter. Is that how you spell his name? Alec Manoa? Yeah, Alec Manoa. Okay, so all right, so we have Manoa here since last season. It includes game 1 of the season here. Sorry, the first game of the season. So 19-4 straight up, 14-19 on the run line, 21-12 to the under. We look at their current situation today. I think they're road favorites, right?
on
So
the
we look
road.
at them as specifically on the road. Let me just so on the road in general, 13-4 to the under, 11-6 straight up. So just this trend in general, it points towards the under. Obviously, they didn't hit the under here in game 1 against the Cardinals, but that's just one thing that I saw from a trend perspective. 13-4 to the under with the games that are remaining. I didn't see anything else from the other 3 games. Who was it again? Guardians, A's, no. Flexen, Otani. I don't think so. Yeah, that's it. That's all I saw that had was anything significant. But yeah, so you would think that the Blue Jays bounce back here.
The
They
Greinke at
lost
home
yesterday,
has
right?
been solid.
Did
Yesterday
they
they
lose yesterday?
won. No,
Oh,
they
they
won.
won,
Blue Jays won.
but it went over.
No, yesterday stayed under.
No, they didn't even go over. Shit, I
No,
forgot.
it
Yeah,
didn't.
yesterday was Kikuchi Day, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's right. Okay, never mind. So not a bounce back spot, but that's what I'm just that's the trend that I saw basically on the road, 13-4 to the under. What is it? What I wonder what he's at home if he's at 13-4 to the under. 8-8.
Check Greinke at home with the
Yeah.
Royals.
Is it a K or
Let me see.
figure it out? Back Greinke. Yep. All right. So Royals at home. Oh shit! I didn't even see that one. 9-2-2 to the under. 9-4 straight up, 10-3 against the spread at home. So let's look at them specifically as dogs too. Damn, what you think about that run line? Would it at 160 plus 160? The run line would be
Greinke's
still
solid.
plus money. Would that still be
Probably.
plus money? Up. Let me
Get
see
me.
real
Let
quick.
me
Let me
see.
pull mine up. MLB.
I see a minus 105 on the plus
Minus.
1.5.
Gotcha. Yeah, I got minus 106. What do you think about that first 5?
Under
Yeah, under and maybe
or
even
run
just
line?
the money line too. Oh yeah, run line. Yeah. What's the first 5 run line? Hold on. First 5 run line.
Even
That's
money.
plus 105. Oh,
Yeah.
you got even? I got plus 105.
Yeah,
Damn.
I see even money on DraftKings.
Under
I think
4.5 too.
Yeah. What's the vig on it?
120 though.
Yeah, I
Minus
see it
120.
125. I think a full game under is probably worth a look.
Yeah. Full game under. Man, this looks pretty solid on Greinke's side though. Let me look at
Yeah, when he's
Manoa.
in Kansas City pitching, like you want to get behind him, but as soon as he's on the road, you got to fade him.
Oh man. Oh, fuck it, just do the under. Oh shit, I said it. Um, the under. Yeah, I kind of want to get their first 5 under too. 4.5.
Mm-hmm.
4.5. I think I'm gonna do. I think I might just split the first 5 in the full game under.
Let's see. Yeah, he hasn't been too bad against the Blue Jays.
Oh, you know what? What if I bring it here? Because this one brings first 5 numbers. So give me the dog does some first 5 stuff. Oops. So 5 and 3 straight up on the first 5 for Manoa as a road favorite. And if we go Zach Greinke, dog 4, 3, and 3 straight up. Maybe it's just the under first 5.
Yeah, I think.
So he went first. Yeah. So if you guys like your Nerfies, 9 and 1 on the Nerfy there. I don't fuck with that though. I get too scared. But yeah. So all right. So just a couple things to drop. So let's do My bad. Kind of just dragging this because I want to make a play on it now. Race first 5 teams. Yeah. Since we went through it, I kind of want to play it. I think I might get there with the first 5 under and full game under on this game here. All right, let's just go straight to the recap now. Let me stop sharing my screen. All right, Munaf, what do you want to drop for the viewers here?
Yeah, I like the player props that we did discuss. DeMar DeRozan over 23.5 points. Mitchell Robinson, if you want to take rebounds, and then blocks and steals combined over 2.5. As far as sides and totals, I'll give you one of each. Pelicans, I think you and I both agreed on RC, and then the over in the Hawks and the Wizards game.
I like it. I like it. All right, so for me, I did take the Pelicans already. I still like it at the number at 6.5. Like I said, when I dropped the analysis for the clients yesterday, I said 7 was the cutoff point, and it's at 6.5, so it's still pretty good to me. The other one was the what the fuck was it? The Grimes, sorry, Grimes over 16.5 points. That I took at 13.5. I still like it at 16.5. I did ladder it up to 20. I feel like he's gonna get the usage tonight to get that done. I might try to find a way to back Portis tonight. I think I want to wait on some player statuses first, but probably look towards his points and rebounds again. For Portis, Pelicans, Grizzlies. I'll probably look towards the under in that one. Wizards and Hawks to the over. From on the baseball side, I'm gonna go. I'm actually gonna take this right now. Actually, the Royals first 5 and the full game under. I'm gonna split it. I'm gonna split a unit on it. So half unit on the first 5 and half unit on the full game under. Damn, I like that. I like how we just went into that game with nothing and then come out with something. Any last comments? Munaf, your show is at 2, right? You got a show at 2. Sorry, 2 Pacific, 5 Eastern.
Yeah, it'll be 2 your time. Yeah.
Okay.
5 Eastern for MLB. We'll talk about the games for tomorrow. Yep.
Oh damn, you guys do oh yeah, obviously because there's only one game after that. Do you guys always do that? So the day prior you do the games for the next day? Or is it just depending on the slate?
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
wow.
we record every day at 5 o'clock Eastern for the following day games to get ahead of the numbers.
Yeah.
CLV is a real thing.
I actually didn't even know that. Yeah. All right,
Yeah.
well, so obviously, you guys, if you guys want to get ahead, shout out to Munaf. Also, it's Munaf's birthday, so shout out to Munaf. Hopefully, he has a fun day today, a profitable day. Um, obviously, Munaf's been a big part, especially in more recent weeks, of the Let's Cap show and how we're growing and how we continue to hopefully cash for you guys as well. But yeah, shout out to Munaf, man. Happy birthday, bro. Hope you have a good one. This is the end of the
Appreciate you,
show.
man.
Oh shit, I didn't even fucking change the banner. Um, yeah. Hopefully, are you gonna be here tomorrow, or the rest of the week, or what? What's your schedule looking like?
Yeah, it should be. Tomorrow's what, Thursday? I just have NBA in the morning, but there's only 4 games. But yeah, I'll be here.
All right, awesome. All right, so we'll see you the rest of the week as well. Like I always want to end the show, guys. Whether you fade us or follow us, it is on you guys to make that call. Good luck with all your action. Till next time, peace.